Ho Ho Kus, New Jersey, actually not too far from where I grew up. And there's this really, really cool new facility building, but they have all these interesting objects and containers that are rust colored, but magical. And we're going to meet the owner around the corner. His name is John, and he's going to talk to us about all the fascinating things that they have here. So stand still and hold on. We've got a cool half hour ahead. So I'm standing here with John Rubich. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
All right, so I was rehearsing that. But anyway, look at this really cool stuff that we're around. So John has started out this business with containers that is not new, but you're putting a nice twist on it.
Yes.
So explain how your business is different than most of this artisan steel type business.
So this is a Cortzen steel. It's a weathering steel. So the patina you see on it is the finished patina. You don't paint it. You don't powder coat it. This is the look I love, and I think everyone should have. So I couldn't find it locally. For my house, so I looked into having manufactured for me and importing it. So we just opened up about a month ago. And
where are we?
We're in Ho Ho Kus, New Jersey, up in Bergen County. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful, beautiful day. So, and look at all the different things though that you have. I mean, I've only seen containers.
Yes.
And he has containers in all different sizes. But what is this?
This is a landscape light. We have different styles, and on the bottom of here is a light underneath.
Oh, I see.
With a stake, and it'll shine down and spread light as an accent light.
Okay.
We have pathway lights, and these are one of our smaller pots. Pretty lightweight, but very durable.
So we have these at Frelinghuysen Arboretum as well, and we leave them out for the winter.
Yes.
And we've had absolutely no problem whatsoever.
No problem. It'll take the freeze thaw, it won't crack like a lot of terracotta pots. You don't have to bring it indoors for the winter.
And he has a hole in the bottom too, so it actually drains. Smart move.
Yes.
So we see a lot of pots without that. But on the other hand, you also have some containers without a hole in the bottom.
Yes.
Just for little small ponds and so forth.
Yeah, so we have watertight ones that you could add water features to, and aquatic plants, even some fish. We have ones without bottoms at all that you could plant in the dirt, so everything drains if it's in the landscape.
Okay.
These are good for patios.
Yes.
And then, we have other types of items, fire pits, we have moon gates, privacy panels, a lot of landscape edging, all different sizes, from 4-inch to 24-inch tall for retaining walls.
Yeah, that moon gate is rather special too. It gives you some interesting ins and outs, and so to speak, so it's a lot of fun. So so maybe we could take a poke around some of the other material that you have here.
Sure.
And so I see you have some really cool stuff over here as well.
Yeah, we'll take a look and show you what we got.
Cool. We're standing here in front of a couple of really cool items. I can see you've done a lot with wood.
Yes.
And storing wood. So here's one vessel, obviously just intended for that, but there's also one very similar in shape and form, but it's got water in it and a water lily.
Yeah, so here we're showcasing the different size planters we have, the different shapes, and the different uses that you have them. You could use them as a traditional planter, water feature. This one, you just screw in a hole.
It's got a plug
to the bottom.
Yep.
You could use it as wood storage, or you could fill it up with ice and beverages. And
wow, there's a cool idea. So, and I like the pot on the end there, the fact that it comes down the belly, but it's also got a foot underneath it that sort of supports it. So that's unique and rather different. You don't see that with clay pots so much. So, and obviously the fun part is that they're all relatively light without the water, of course. So you can move them around easily to fit and serve your needs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have them in squares, rectangles, round, tapered edges. And we could have them custom made to different sizes and shapes for different
uses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the patina, I'm sure, helps it for resisting decay and so forth.
Yes.
So
yeah, it creates a protective layer, so it'll never rust out.
Okay.
The bottoms. It's depending on the piece, they're 2 to 3 mils thick, so they're very durable but lightweight.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a question people have all the time: is how long does it last outside?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Almost a lifetime. Yeah.
So, and you treat it specially to get that patina. So that's not something that you could just buy and then stick it outside, and it would be the
Well,
same thing.
it comes raw steel, and then over time it weathers
To that.
and does it. But we could pre-patina them by spraying in a mixture of salt, distilled vinegar on it,
And other secret ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, no, I think that's a question people always ask. Well, if it's rusting, how long is it going to last outside? And to your point, it's very
Forever.
durable. It'll last for a long time. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, perfect. So I like the wood idea. So let's take a look at some of the wood elements that are over here too for storage. I think not only is it storage, but it's art.
Art, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, dual purpose, just like all of our other stuff. But yeah, wood storage and the fire pits. It's the fall coming.
Yep.
is,
Perfect
yeah, I think so,
combination
yes.
together. All right, let's go. I'm liking this bench.
This is a very nice bench.
This is a very nice bench, just at the right height too.
Yes.
I like that. So, and look at the fact that it's got wood storage space underneath it, and look at the storage facility behind us. That is pretty wicked.
Yeah, dual purpose, artwork, wood storage,
Yep.
seat, wood storage.
So, and I just love the imagination to it, because when I drove in, I was like, wow, look at that. I've never seen that before. So, and people are always looking for, they got the wood, they stack it, falls down, gets wet, blah, 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 but never think about making it a piece of artwork.
Yeah, we have a bunch of different creative pieces for every type of personality and landscape. We have some big squares, like the bowls we saw.
Yep.
So, and a lot of different fireplaces to burn the wood that you're storing.
One fireplace that you showed me too, I really like, and that's the sort of like a barbecue unit.
Yes.
That was so much fun. I mean,
Yeah.
Father's Day, watch out.
Yeah, it's a hibachi grill,
Yeah.
fire pit, so everybody could cook their own food around it, or you could have one person do it, and yeah, it's an exciting piece, a centerpiece.
Yeah, no, I think it's so different. People are always looking for something a little bit more unique these days, and I think the run-of-the-mill gas grill has sort of run its time.
Yes,
so
yes.
it's time for something. Plus, if it adds flavor to the food, and also if you're looking for sustainable, here's something that's totally different, and I'm sure a little bit more sustainable than your gas grill.
Correct. Yeah, it's all wood burning, so you can add different types of wood for different flavors to
Yep.
smoke your meat or your fish or your vegetables. So
Yep.
yeah,
So I'm liking it.
they're
So
nice.
we're going to take a little peek around back too, because I see you have a little garden back here.
Yes.
And we'll enjoy that and see what all the trouble we can get into.
All right.
John brought me over here because really, I mean, I like succulents, but look at this. So look at the imagination it takes of what you can do with this type of thing. And is this the real purpose of this, but you sort of changed it around a little bit?
No, this is typically used for a fire pit that you could light a big fire in,
Yep.
people stand around, keep warm, but we want to show the diversity of the pieces.
So obviously it has a hole in the bottom now because you
Yes.
took out the plug. But again, succulents right now are really hot. And you're showcasing some great ways that they can be used. So, and also when you look at this, so these columns that are coming up here, again, little individual succulents in them. I saw a couple of people just sort of wandering by before taking pictures of them. So they are really hot as well. But, and speaking of really hot, you have some sales help.
Yes, I do. I could introduce you to Sarah and Alan. They're my partners. Sarah runs the back end of the business, does all the social media, and Alan runs the shop day to day. So if you stop in, you'll most likely meet Alan here, and he could help you. And but they're going to take you inside and show you around. So let's go.
Let's go, yeah. Is that a hat? NJNLA hat? I like that. So we need more of these. So anyway, we're inside the showroom right now, and we're looking around at what we can find. And I've been looking at these things all morning, and I've been trying to figure out what you do with these things. And fortunately, Sarah has the answer.
So these, you can make them into bird feeders, you can put some water into them as a bird bath. Another cool thing that you can do with them is you can actually melt some wax into them and make them little candle holders, stick them around your yard. They're really cool.
Yeah, I like the fact, because I didn't even think about that. You could stick them in the ground and light along a path or a walkway or something like that for a party. So cool idea. I like it. So anyway, the real reason we're in here is to talk about what you really like, not what I like. And I know you like the panels and so forth. So why don't you talk a little bit about those and how they're made and what you like about them?
Yeah, the panels are really nice because you have multiple different types of designs. So you can do kind of like geometric designs or just something like a plant or like leaves or anything. Everything's really nice. It's customizable as well.
Okay.
So someone could come in and want like a certain design,
I like that.
lasered in. So we can do that for them too.
Yeah, because when they were inside and I first met them, I was like, I saw these 2 panels on the wall, and I was like, wow, those are really cool.
Yeah.
So and they have all types of different ones here. So again, just whatever the backdrop is, it really highlights it. So, and you like the fire pits.
Oh, they're always been my favorite. I think that they're so cool. They come in so many unique designs. Those can also be customized as well. But what really makes them unique is that even when they're not lit, they act as a sculpture piece. So you kind of get 2 uses out of them. You get the fire pit and you also get a pretty sculpture.
I actually thought that they were sculpture when I first saw them. So so now it works out really well.
Yeah.
And by the way, I really like your page that you did. So she does all the web work, and I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's look at some of these panels and so forth, and so that they can see what they look like.
All right.
So when I first walked in, I saw you sitting here, and I was looking at these panels, and I was like, wow, those are really cool. So how do they make these?
So these panels are all laser cut into different types of designs. So you can pretty much do anything you can think of as long as it fits on side of the panel.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you can use them for multiple different ways as well. So you can do them with like fencing. You
Right.
can put a bunch of like wood storage and then some panels and everything like that.
For screening purposes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I could also see these even if you're trying to screen out maybe your neighbor's got something that you don't really want to look at, but you want something a little contemporary to go with the patio. These could really work well. Plus, if you use the pots that are outside and sort of repeats the theme, and designers are always talking about the texture and repeating the texture and the colors, and this works out really well for that. So you could put wood posts on either side of it. I've seen some really contemporary ones where they actually paint the post black, and then you have this in the middle. So
yeah, like a framing.
Looks really funky.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So anyway, this is something I've never seen. So this has a really unique application to it. So again, something that you may want to sort of keep in the back of your mind as if you're a designer or a homeowner. You go, yes, I got a spot for that. So cool. Thanks for showing us these.
No problem.
This has really been an interesting adventure at Cortzen Steel. I mean, look at this moon gate we're walking through. Can you imagine how you could put this in so many different areas and so forth, your house? Or you could frame as somehow a piece of sculpture, or even an urn inside it, and have maybe shrubs or a hedge on either side of it. It could be a separation between rooms. This is really an awesome piece. So I hope you'll come. This is in Ho Ho Kus, New Jersey. Look them up on the website. Really awesome place. Thank you. So Kristen, look at these fine, beautiful containers. Aren't they awesome? So I think it's time for an early fall display.
Sounds good.
As we stand here in the light rain.
Seems like it's tapering off, so we're gonna be good.
Well, it's very autumnal. It's also rather cold, but it's all good. So you have one style, I have another style, and we're gonna sort of work our way through. So I'll let Kristen's, I don't know which one she's gonna put in first. So let's see where she goes.
I'm gonna start with this giant Dracaena.
Okay.
Because it's the backbone of my pot, so I kind of need to get it in first so that I can see what I'm doing around it.
Well, that makes good sense.
Well, actually a cordyline also.
Cool, look at that. She's teasing out the roots, notice, which is important to do. Now, while she's doing that, I'm going to do something design-wise sort of similar. So I'm going to use little blue stem, which has the unfortunate botanical name of Schizocarium. Why? I don't know. But in any case, instead of using just one, I got 3 because I want to bulk it up a little bit. And I heard that the containers were a good size. I'm not quite sure who I heard that from, but we heard they're big.
We had nothing to do with that.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. 26.5 inches didn't sound that big when looking on the website.
No. sounded positively small.
Positively. Notice too that these containers are up on little feet.
This will help with drainage on them.
Yes. There also used to be a band by that name, remember?
Containers on little feet or drainage?
No, a band. Little feet, never mind.
Possibly dating yourself over there.
Ah, possibly.
I hate these tags.
And these, this selection, by the way, is called Standing Ovation, and this is a native plant. So now we can play a little bit here. So what have you got going on over there?
I have I think it's a sedum, but it might be the other thing. I have a sedum called Superstar.
Superstar.
Which I'm going to use to kind of add some autumnal interest. Sedums are really late bloomers, which makes them ideal for fall containers. They add a lot of good texture and color, and they're attractive to pollinators in the fall, which is always nice to have food sources for them good and late.
That is true. So I could either use another little blue stem, or going for seed interest, we could go for, this used to be called Bellum Canda. Now they call it iris. So some people report it as being invasive because the seed pods will split open. They'll have these jet black seeds that look really, really cool. It doesn't travel far, but it will. You'll see little seedlings coming up over a number of years around where it's planted. But it won't, I have never seen it scatter far and wide. So I feel comfortable using it in this container.
As a bonus note, this plant's common name is blackberry lily. Those are not blackberries. They are not edible.
That is a very good point. And instead of putting it to the back, I'm going to put it slightly to the front, because I'm looking for a little three-dimensionality here. So you're looking past the foliage of this into the blue stems behind. And like Kristen, I also picked a sedum, one called Seboldii.
Oh, I love that one.
Ah, yes. It's a nice low creeper, beautiful bluish gray foliage, pink flowers, which will turn russets. And so I thought this would make a nice spiller plant. Of course, there's that old and sometimes not followed thought of a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. So the sedums are going to be our spiller. But mind you, we don't always follow that decree.
It's true.
And the nice thing about using perennials in your fall mix is that obviously you can then remove them from the container and plant them in the garden, where they make great garden plants, especially if you have a dry garden like the gravel garden, which is featured here at Frelinghuysen, which we will be seeing before the day is over, which is why I mentioned that. What do you have going over there, Kristen?
I have just added 2 celoteas, which are annuals that are often used in the fall because they come in shades of pink and dark magenta and orange, and they look very autumnal. They also come in some very tall varieties, which make them excellent cutting flowers as well. And you can dry them and they'll keep the color. So they have a lot of different uses. Here I'm going to use them for their pretty fall-ish shades. I think of pink as a fall color. I know a lot of people might not, but I do think of pinks and purples as being pretty autumnal, especially paired with these darker blues like you get in the sedums, and the blue and whites that come from this euphorbia that I'm settling in right now. This euphorbia is a perennial, so it could go out in the garden after we're done with it.
So as you can tell, I'm not a huge pink person in the fall. However, I picked a pink flower to put in the front of my container. So,
are you a pink person at any time of the year?
Oh yeah, I like pink. I like all the colors. I probably show a little preference to orange.
I would say, I think you've done a lot of orange containers.
Yeah. Now we come to the filler. Now this is a nice filler, which would be glossy and showy. Sticking with my love of orange, I have Lantana, which is not a perennial, but it is quite a showy little annual, and it picks up the orange theme. Now, I'm not in love with this.
No?
So, no. So, what I am in love with, though, maybe putting in some orange carex
Ooh.
to pick up the orange lantana. And then getting enough so that you can repeat the carex on the other side. I'm not a dot dash person, so I don't like to put two and something in between it. So we'll do something like this. How are you coming over there, Kristen?
Looking like you're building a meadow.
Oh, okay.
I am getting a mangave out of a pot. And this
Ooh.
mangave is going to be one of my filler plants. And mangaves are a hybrid of agaves and a plant called a manfreda, which is another type of succulent, some of which are actually cold hardy in this region. The mangaves are not, but they have some of the red color that you see with the manfredas. And so you can get some really interesting colors out of these. And we'll often overwinter them indoors in the sun to keep them alive for the next year, because they're really, really quite spectacular.
And you can I've actually used them as a house plant for a winter as well. So if you overwinter them, they will suffer through the environment of a house. So I'm just finishing up now.
Oh, you're already done? I haven't even gotten to my spillers yet.
You haven't?
I have 6 of them, so.
I bet you have.
So many spillers. Because I decided we were going with a purple and silver vibe.
Okay.
So I wanted spillers that did, oh no, my spillers are tangled.
I hate when they get tangled.
It's really a fun thing. I'm using this truly odd spiller. I don't really know much about it, actually, if I'm being honest here. Its common name is waffle plant.
I love waffles.
And I think it's just really gonna pop against the rusty color of these pots. Oh yeah, look at that, that's nice. And then I'm gonna mix that in with some dichondra, which really is my favorite spiller to use.
It's also a great spiller plant.
Trails really, really gracefully.
Yes.
It's very striking. High drama. And it just adds a lot to these pots.
So the point is too, as you look at these two different containers, hers obviously has a very much a front to it.
It does.
And so it works. Whereas
Deviating
this
from my
one
norm.
is sort of, that could be the front, but since the Bellum Candida, the iris here is so tall, the blackberry lily, that you really could walk around this one and appreciate it from all sides. So, and that's important when you're doing it at home because, you know, is it up against a wall? Do you only see it from one side, or is it something that's out in the middle of a patio and something that you see from all corners? So, something to always keep in mind as you're plotting, planning, and buying your plants. I think that looks stupendous.
Thank you. I really like how that looks. With yours there, Bruce, the lantana is playing really, really beautifully with the sedum.
Oh, good. I'm glad they play well together.
Yeah, I think that's going to make a nice combination as it grows in a little bit.
I always hate plants that fight each other.
I know. That's always a little frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So you're putting in your last plant?
Nope, second to last.
Second to last.
One more. I feel like I'm being rushed.
Oh, no. But there is a rock group named Rush, which
Yes,
you should
yes,
have going in the
there is.
background.
Should we?
Yeah, we should. So So anyway, again, a lot of these are available these days at garden centers. So a lot of people go into a garden center and they go, oh, I want a chrysanthemum, but there's some options out there that you don't really think about. And so when we went, obviously we didn't pick one mum, but what we did was picked a whole bunch of different things that have an autumnal-ish feel to it, but perhaps you wouldn't think of when you're doing a container for the fall. So, and as you watch this over time, as they split open, they really do look like blackberries as they open, and so the seed pods are really quite fun to it. And yes, you finished.
I did.
It looks great. I love it.
Thank you.
So these are just some suggestions, some thoughts, how to approach a container. We do love our containers here.
They are very beautiful.
They are indeed, but the plants too sort of play off the containers, but at the same time play off of each other. So something to think about at home.
Hi, I'm Kristen Prommel. I am the Superintendent of Horticulture here at Frelinghuysen Arboretum, and I'm here to talk to you today about the gravel garden and specifically about these pots that are behind me that are made of what is called Cortzen steel. They have a beautiful rusted look that really fits into this garden really well, where the inspiration is a lot of plants that like dry climates and look their best in rocky places that are very, very unforgiving. So we thought that these pots that looked also sort of like they came from places that were maybe not the most smooth and delicate would be ideal for this location. And they really are. They've been in here for a couple years now. They're great. You can leave them outside in the winter. They're light enough that I can move them when they're empty by myself. And they look really, really beautiful with a lot of the high desert plants that I'm using in and around them.
I think
it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Thank you.